Alright, what's up guys? My name is Zach and today I am driving a 2005 Mercedes C55 AMG. Up front is a 5.5 liter V8 and down below is a 5-speed automatic transmission. Now I'm super excited to be driving this here C55 AMG for two reasons. First of all, AMG cars are always super fun and I've never done a 2005 C55. But the second reason is the fact that this is not a bone stock one. Not even close. This is a track prepped and track used C55 AMG. It's been stripped out of its interior. It has some supporting mods and a tune and is built for one thing and one thing only, and that's going around a track in the fastest time possible. So let's get into it. Let's get back to that 5.5 liter V8. Right now, it's making about 320 horsepower at the rear wheels, which is great considering that this car only weighs about 3,100 pounds with its stripped out interior. So while it doesn't make all of the horsepower in the world, this car was built to handle well. I will put a full modification list up on the screen for you viewers if you're curious about what this car is actually made of and what modifications have been done to it. Now that being said, coming across on video, I'm sure it seems like it has a rough ride, and that's because it does. Not only does it have the stock sport Bilstein shocks from Mercedes, but it has aftermarket springs. Good ones, but aftermarket ones, making the ride a lot stiffer, which is important for cornering. So let's get a listen to the 5.5 liter. That's what we like to call American muscle, baby. Except it's not actually. It's German muscle. Yeah. What I love about this car is the fact that it's naturally aspirated and it revs. It just revs and revs and revs and revs, which is great. It revs really quickly, it revs really smoothly, and it's not impeded by turbos or superchargers. Yes, those options would make more horsepower, but there's something about having a very linear power band naturally aspirated. There's just something about it. Now, paired to it is a 5-speed automatic transmission. And the AMGs of the C-Class only came with the 5-speed automatic. There actually was no manual C55 AMG, unfortunately. And it's not a dual clutch transmission. So I think the weakest point of this vehicle is the transmission. It's not lightning fast. And I think either with a manual transmission or with a dual clutch, this thing would be improved tenfold. However, that being said, I do have paddle shifters on the back of the steering wheel if I would like to shift manually. And that does cut out a little bit of the hesitation, however, not all of it. Last but not least, of course, the C55 is rear wheel drive. So we'll talk about the interior very briefly because I haven't actually reviewed one of these before, so let's run through it now. In front of me, I have 4 gauges. On the far left is my coolant temperature. Then I have my speedometer. I love the fact that it says AMG down at the bottom. And on the right, I have my tachometer and fuel at the far right, as well as I get a little information screen in the middle that's going to yell at you whenever you have a warning light or something of the sort. On the steering wheel, I have buttons to switch through that menu screen in the center, as well as volume and phone options. To the left of me, I have my mirror switches and headlight switches, and on the door, I have 3 different memory seat options, which no longer are required. And then of course my power window options, those still function as well. Moving into the center, I have 2 climate control vents and a bunch of buttons for heated seats, again, no longer needed. My rear sunshade, which actually still works, lock and unlock, headrest, anti-theft, towing mode. The C55 will actually set the alarm off if it is picked up by a tow truck, so you have to turn that button off if you plan on towing this vehicle. And then I get the stock 2005 radio. Nothing really too impressive, cool, or interesting here. I have phone options off to the right, volume, I mean, you know, it's pretty standard stuff. Then I do have my climate controls, very interesting here. They do have the temperatures on them, where to send it, fan speed, and it is dual zone, which for 2005 is not too shabby. Moving into the center, I have a little cubby hole and 12-volt outlet. Then I have the shifter itself. I do have different drive modes I can put the car into for comfort, sport, and manual if I'd like to select those. I love the fact that it says AMG down in the center. reminds me that I'm driving something special had I not had the bucket seats and racing harnesses. I do have one tiny cup holder, so big friggin' bottle test, of course, fails here in the C55 AMG, but that's okay. My water bottle can stay in the pits. Before we get on with the rest of the review, I want to give a huge thank you to Fixed. Fixed is a Bluetooth OBD2 sensor for your car. You can plug it into any OBD2 vehicle, which is a vehicle manufactured after 1996, and you can take a look at your gauges, you can keep an eye on your temperature, you can see your speed, you can time your 0 to 60. There's tons of really cool features that will pair directly to your smartphone, and it gives you great insight on your vehicles. Fixed is giving my viewers a hefty discount, so click the link in the description below, get your own Fixed OBD2 Bluetooth sensor, and start learning more about your car. Now, getting to these seats, they are status seats with a 5-point harness fitted to it. They are proper racing seats, and they are holding me snug to the point where I might not have hips after this video, but that's okay. That's what you want out on the track, is really good seats. I always tell people, if you really want to start modifying your car, if you want to start building a track car, I would honestly start off with the seats. The seats will keep you in the same position, making you more consistent, and then you can work on your driving skills from there. Now, we are in Illinois here, but there's a road that I think turns, so let's try to have some fun with this thing. Why not? Woo! Stepping out just a little bit. Putting this thing on springs and sticky tires almost starts to feel like a little bit of sacrilege to this car. All this car wants to do is step out of line. That's all it wants to do. This car is a troublemaker. Oh man, this car is so fun. It's so fun because it wants to be a troublemaker, because this car does not really like you all that much. I do not feel at one with this car. I feel like I'm at war. Come get some! But that's what keeps the intensity there. Have you ever looked at one of your friends and they're dating someone that really grinds their gears and they fight all the time, they fight, and you just think, why don't you break up? Do us all a favor and just break up. While that might be true and that might be the healthy way out, they're both having a little bit of fun. That fight is what makes people feel alive, and this car makes me feel alive. If I do something wrong, this car is going to punish me. It's not going to hold my hand. It's not going to say, oh, that's okay, get him next time. No, this car's going to say, you fucked up. Live with it. It's brutal. And so, I've learned 3 things in this review. Number 1, I should do all future reviews with driving gloves on. This makes me feel like not only the coolest, but the cutest human being in the world. Second of all, I learned that AMG is not here to mess around. They are not here to play games and offer you a little trim package. And number 3, maybe it's good to have enemies. Keeps things fresh. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Huge thank you to Anthony for letting me take out this car. This has been their baby for, man, going on 11 years now. 2010, and it's a miracle that Anthony has kept it out of a ditch that long, because I know I won't be able to. I definitely won't be able to. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Don't forget to rate the video, comment on the video, and subscribe if you really liked it. Take care, guys.